Okay, guys, so now I'm going to go through really fast with you the process of actually kind of creating a video to give you a better example of what you can do once you identify an offer. Now, it's very, very simple. It's not hard. You can probably, if you really dedicate, yourself to this, you could probably pump out like 5 videos a day. Now, I don't do, I simply only put out 1 YouTube video a day. It's very consistent, and that's on my main channel. I'm not talking about any CPA or affiliate channels. I have one of each of those, but you can do, this is like I said before, this is only limited to how much work you really put in. So I'm going to demonstrate here how I would basically come up with information for this offer, how I generate traffic to it, how I'd make the video, and I'm going to kind of acquire the information and put it into a PowerPoint in this video for you to kind of show you the process that I might go through to give you, tips and examples of things that you can do. Now, then the next video, we're going to actually go into, I'm going to actually demonstrate so what I'm going to do here, to put it simply, is we're going to acquire the information and put it into a PowerPoint in this one, okay? The next video the next lecture of this course will actually be the entire video. I'm going to do it for you to give you an example of how a YouTube video might look. Then in the next video after that, the next lecture, we're going to go into the actual process of how I edited it to give you an example. That will show you the process that I do. It's very, very simple. It makes it look professional. It gives it kind of high production value, but not ridiculous production value. Now, you don't need to do those things, but they will help, in the long run and help generate traffic. So I'm going to give you an example of that, okay? But, excuse me, I think I need some water. Basically what I'm going to do here is we know that I want to link this in my bio, okay? Or not my bio, my description. So clearly I'm going to need to generate traffic to this. Well, how can I generate traffic to this? I need to bring value in a video that, people might want to search for or click. So the first thing that I would do is I might think of, dating tips or relationship tips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to type in dating tips that your mother didn't tell you. I don't know why that just popped in my mind, but it did. 5 modern tips that your mom forgot to mention. What my mother didn't tell me about dating. Things your mom didn't tell you about love. Let's look at all of these. Timing. Don't suck in bed. So this might be an example, and clearly you can kind of do in-depth research, but I'm just going to put this in an example really fast for you, and then I'll show you what I mean. So I'm simply going to take this, and I'm going to basically go in and say, let's make a title page really fast. 5 slow computer. 5 things your parents didn't mention about dating. Now, this is very, very simple. Anybody can do this, okay? So we're going to make a new slide, and the new slide is going to say, number 1, timing and love. Number 2, actually, so many windows open. It's possible your mother imparted you on the infamous timing is everything wisdom, but it's more possible she helped them more love conquers all. People in your life who will also love you, but that doesn't mean they're the forever ones. That is possibly life's biggest lesson. Love isn't always enough. So this is something I would take maybe, and for the sake of this video and not wasting your time, I'm not going to put it in my own words, but you should definitely put it in your own words. You shouldn't just copy and paste, but for the sake of saving, well, I just put it on the wrong side. For the sake of saving time and kind of demonstrating this for you, I'm just simply going to go over this in a nutshell. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you should definitely put it in your own words. So we'll put this here too, kind of go down, and we're going to say this. Now this, we're going to delete. And I'm going to do 2 here. If I were going to do the video in its entirety, I'll do 3, okay? So I'll say don't suck in bed. We'll just say don't suck in bed, actually. Don't suck in bed. It doesn't even look the same. So actually, we're going to go like this. Don't suck in bed. trying to look for some information to actually post here. I realized what she meant. Don't be afraid to experiment a little before locking it down. And clearly you're going to put a little bit more thought into this. I'm just kind of doing it fast to give you an example of how I would do this, but something to keep in mind. Now, sex spells, they're a thing. What is a sex spell, you might ask? This is an explainable desire to put towards someone you'd never be in a serious relationship, but you'd completely good on paper. Guys are often the ones you need to watch out for. This is weird that I'm talking about guys as a guy, but whatever. We're just going to go with it. You heard of sociopaths, right? I don't know if I like that one. There's not that much good information there. We're gonna nix that one. And we're going to go with the bottom one. A one-night stand doesn't always equal doom. I'm gonna paste this one in. And you might be asking, depending on where you are in your life, you might be asking like, well, who's going to want to see this? Who's going to want this information? Who's going to be looking for this? This is stupid. But you just might be coming from a different perspective. If you put this on YouTube and you're tagging it right and you're giving the information that's of value to people that are looking for it, it's simply in a different position. They could have gone to Google and typed it in, but if you know anything about YouTube, YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world, and people enjoy interacting with video content a lot more than they do reading nowadays. Now, that's not true for me. It might not be true for you, but for the vast majority of the world, that is the truth. So what we can basically do is utilize that to our advantage, take this information, put it into video content with a link in the description that generates us money, and that's how we're going to use CPA marketing to make us money, okay? So it's very simple. I know I'm repetitive, but I just kind of want to get the message across. Don't get me wrong, I'm not necessarily doing it. These are beautiful moms scared the Jesus out of me. What's important is the moment you want to act on, because who knows? Maybe there's a reason you did. There are times when getting caught up in the moment makes you feel alive. I'm gonna simply add something here to show you. Maybe I'd be like, and I know this video is slow. I apologize, but I kind of just want to give you the thought process, and then I'm going to show you, what goes into making it, so that I can show you the video in its entirety in the next one, and then we'll actually edit it, and I'll show you how I edited it. Okay. So there are times when getting caught up in the moment makes you feel alive. How are you going to know what you want long term if you don't experiment? I don't even know if that's something I'd want to put on, but just for example, I'm going to put it here. Okay. So, and then the last one might be like, I'm going to duplicate this slide actually. Where's duplicate? Copy. Paste. And we are going to simply put, get out there and take some chances. Definitely need water, but I'm going to get it in between lectures. All right, so now we basically have the overview of what we did. So 5 things your parents didn't tell you. We're going to change this to 3 clearly because there's not 5. I didn't do 5. 3 things your parents didn't tell you, didn't mention about dating. Timing and love. Don't get stuck in bed. One night stand doesn't always equal doom. Get out there and take some chances, which basically gives them the information and then calls them to action at the end that kind of says, all right, now it's time for you to get out there and take some chances. This might be when I plug at this last lecture, or this last, slide where I plug the link in the description and say, if you're interested, and take some chances, you might want to check out this amazing dating site that I know somebody that found their love on, or something like that. And then people might go into your description, check that out, click and sign up, and there you go. You just made $12. So don't know why this is, there we go. We're going to say, yeah. All right, so that basically gives you the idea of, how you're going to do it. Now, in this, I kind of wanted to put this together to kind of show you how I'd acquire the information, how I'd put it in. Now, I might make this into like a, let's see, I put like a background on it or something so it doesn't look so blah. Let's see here. That might be a little bit better. we'll just roll with that. But you can kind of obviously pick your stuff out. It's very, very simple, very easy to do. Now, like I said, if you want to acquire this information, you don't necessarily need to put it on your screen with a PowerPoint. If you want to have it in front of you so that you can kind of talk to the camera and record your screen so you're actually physically talking through the video, then that's fine too. It's up to you. But for I just kind of want to give you an example of how to acquire the information, then you can kind of convey it the best you want. So I'm going to go over in the next video, we're going to actually show you the finished product, and then we'll kind of backtrack, like I said before, and I'll show you the editing process and how I put it together. Okay, guys, so stay tuned. The next lecture will actually be the example YouTube video that, people on YouTube might see.